Hey, my fellow fright fiends, it's your buddy BoogeyMan Ben. Hope everyone's doing well. Just got out of Andre Overdahl's Passenger, a movie that I've really been looking forward to ever since I saw the teaser trailer in front of Scream 7. I know this movie's gotten mixed reviews because since it's a road movie, because it deals with a couple that are being stalked by this presence on a road after they have purchased this all-terrain vehicle and decided to live on the open road. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do this spooky screenings while I'm driving home. So this is a spooky screenings on the movie Passenger, and I can't wait to talk about it, and I hope everyone looks forward to it. And here we go.
BoogeyMan Ben coming round the bend. Is BoogeyMan Ben. Is BoogeyMan Ben.
Make it quick. Dude, give me 1 minute. Go. Daniel? Oh, no way.
After a young couple witnesses a gruesome highway accident, they soon realize they didn't leave the crash scene alone, as a demonic presence known as the Passenger will not stop until it claims them both. The movie stars Jacob Scipio as Tyler, Lou LaBelle as Maddie, Melissa Leo as Diana. It was written by Zachary Donahue and T.W. Burgess and was directed by Andre Overdahl.
Saint Christopher, protect me today. All my trouble. Give us your warning sign. If danger is near. Danger is near. Danger is near.
No one outruns a passenger.
So I'm just gonna get out of the parking garage and then I'll start talking a little bit about my thoughts on the movie. Right off the bat, I just want to say this is my kind of horror movie. People have been watching my channel for a while. I remember doing a video for Y Navarro 1988, and he had asked me to do a review of my Jeepers Creepers figures. This is going back to 2011. And I remember in that video I talked about the fact that I don't like to be lost. So sorry about this hanging down, it's the best I can do. But yeah, I remember doing this video back in 2011 showcasing of my Jeepers Creepers collection. Back then I had the Majestic Studios figure, as well as the now playing it's not really a diorama set, but it had a base and everything with the fence and all that. So I had those figures and I showcased those, and I did talk about the movies in that video. And the one thing I've always been terrified about is being lost on a road trip or driving someplace I'm not familiar with. And a good example of that is 3 years ago, it would have been September 13th. I was coming back from Oregon from my previous company. I had to go to Newport, Oregon to do an install. So I was in Newport and Walport, which is on the Oregon coast. And coming home, I was driving through like Shasta area. I had left Ashland really kind of later than I should have. I left Ashland at like about 8 o'clock at night when I finally finished dinner at this place called Harvey's, and I was heading on the road. It was dark. It was starting to get really dark. because it was September, so it was still kind of light out until about maybe 8:15. Then it really started getting dark, and I didn't get home until 3:30 in the morning. And I had these trucks that were pushing me up Mount Shasta, and it was terrifying. It was one of the worst experiences ever. I kept pulling off at rest stops because I felt like these trucks were just pushing the shit out of me. And yeah, I don't want to go on too long about it, but that and just getting lost. I don't like to get lost. So this film, it pretty much, if you've seen the trailer, that's the beginning of the film, where the two guys are driving at night and the guy pulls over to let the other guy use the bathroom. And when the guy gets done using the bathroom, he's about done, and you hear the guy honking the horn, or you hear the car horn honking, and he runs back up, and all the doors are open to the car, the trunk is open, and his friend is gone. So that kind of leads into your first dealings with the passenger entity. And there's rules that are very clearly defined in this, and that's that you don't stop and you don't drive at night. Those are the two rules that they establish very early on in the film. Kind of like, with the nomads and people that live on the road. And then you have the couple, Tyler and Maddie, they're changing their lives. They've bought like this really fancy van, RV, whatever you want to call it. And they've packed up all their belongings and put them in storage and everything that they don't need. And they're hitting the open road. And then it picks up where the accident has happened at the beginning of the film. And they stop to help the survivor, one of the characters you meet at the beginning of the film. And because they stop to help him, it kind of allows the entity, the passenger, to latch itself onto them. And that's all I want to give right now in terms of the plot of the film. But yeah, it's good. I mean, I don't think it's as scary as it could have been, but I really enjoy Andre Overdahl's films. With one exception, I didn't like Troll Hunter. And I remember I was working with this woman named Joelle, if I remember her name correctly. This was when I worked for the cookware company, and her husband, Christopher Robbins was his name. He let me borrow that movie. He actually met up with me when I went to Kirk Von Hammett's Fear Fest of Evil in February of 2014. And he let me borrow that movie shortly after that, and I didn't like it. And I felt bad telling him that because he really liked the film. I saw The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Sorry, I'm just letting somebody get over. I saw The Autopsy of Jane Doe with Emile Hirsch and Brian Cox. That movie is fantastic, and it is my favorite film by Andre Overdahl. That movie is terrifying. And I also really enjoyed Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I loved Last Voyage of the Demeter. I thought it could have been a little bit better, but I really enjoyed it for what it was, and vampire film. And I loved that the main character looked like, oh, this guy's gonna run a red light. Oh my God, you're dumb. Sorry. This Hummer is actually in the middle of the intersection trying to get over to the right now because he almost turned and ran a red light. Okay, some people. Anyway, yeah, so I really liked Last Voyage of the Demeter. That's the last movie I saw that Andre Overdahl did. I think that's the last movie he did, so that was almost 3 years ago. This movie just spoke to me, and I know in my spooky screenings on Obsession, I talked about the fact that I really thought the film was well done. I thought that Curry Barker did a great job writing and directing and editing that film, and I thought all the actors did a great job as well. A film that I would want to watch again. And that could change, it's like I said, that was just a week ago, a little over a week ago. But this is more my film. Films that I love that deal with something chasing you on a road or something attaching itself to you on the road. Jeepers Creepers, Joyride, Breakdown. Those are just some I can think of. Duel. I mean, those are the movies I love. They scare me because when you're on the road and you're someplace that you don't know, you're out of your comfort zone, and all you have between you and a monster or a creep or something is your vehicle. And that really played into my fears, and it really, I felt like, there's a lot of really good scary moments in this, very subtle moments. I think the subtle moments were the strongest. There was a couple moments that dragged. I thought towards the beginning of the third act, I thought it dragged a little bit. but I thought it really closed well. And I really liked the couple in this. I really liked the couple, Tyler and Maddie. I heard that people say Lou LaBelle, I think that's how you say her name, that she was the weak element. I actually really liked her. There was a couple moments where I questioned just her motives behind things, and I was like talking kind of quietly to myself because I didn't want to disturb people in the theater, but I was kind of like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, that kind of thing. Sorry about my lizard being in the shot here. But yeah, I thought she did a good job. I really liked her relationship with Tyler. I thought Maddie and Tyler were a good couple. I didn't know at first if I liked her, but I grew to like her because I wasn't as familiar with her. I don't believe I've seen her in anything. But Jason Scipio, I think that's how you say his name. I love him in the Bad Boys movies. And I also loved him as Gallant in Expendables 4, even though a lot of people didn't like Expendables 4. And I loved him in this. He was relatable. I thought they had a good chemistry. The thing that I really loved about their relationship is that when she's telling him that she's seeing these things, that he believed her. And I thought that was really cool, because usually in movies like this, when you have a couple, they'll like, one will see something and then they'll be like, oh, I don't believe you, whatever, no, that couldn't happen, things like that. That's like a classic horror trope that you always see. And in this movie, I loved that he believed what she was saying and that she was scared. And I just felt like they had a good couple dynamic, and that is what could have been the death nail if you had bad actors or horribly written, you know, dialogue between them. I thought that everything seemed very natural, and it reminded me of my wife and I when we would go on road trips back when we were first dating, and even when we got married. So yeah, it was I really had a good time with this film. And the other thing I want to say is not only the fact that I'm a fan of Andre Overdahl, Christopher Young, one of my favorite composers. Of course, he did Hellraiser. He's done Sinister. One of my favorite scores of all time that he's done was Jennifer 8. That's like one of my comfort scores, especially in the wintertime. I've talked about that movie, and I love that music that he did. He did the score for it, and I was really taken by the score, and I was happy to see his name pop up at the end. And then also, Gary Dauberman was a producer on this, and I knew that Dauberman had left Warner Brothers after everything that had happened because of Salem's Lot being stalled and unfairly treated by the studio again. You know, fuck David Zaslav. I will say that every fucking time I talk about how horribly he treated that director, that man that had brought so many hits to that studio. Anyway, I was happy to see he was a producer on it. But yeah, I really enjoyed the film. I think it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the cast. I really enjoyed the way that you don't see the passenger clearly. He's kind of in the shadows. He's from a distance. He's out of focus. There's a really great moment that I wish they wouldn't have put in the trailer, but it was still very nerve-wracking when I knew that was coming, just based on the way that the scene was lit. I said, oh yeah, that's where this is going to happen. But yeah, I think the trailer was effective. I know there's a lot of people saying it's not good. I've listened to, I didn't listen to Drum Dums, but he said it was hot relish, which is really usually what he says when he doesn't like something. And I saw Cody Leach's review of it. He didn't like it because he said it was nothing but jump scares, and he didn't care for Lou LaBelle, so that was another person that sort of put it down. And I think Tom Shadowbash was the other one I listened to, and he didn't really care for it either. He said it was a good concept, but the execution was bad. And I know that it's not getting great reviews. I mean, everybody likes what they like, and I knew that this was a horror film that spoke to me. The trailer got me. Also, it reminded me a lot of a short film that my friends at Forever Midnight have done, and they talked about it on one of their recent podcasts. They were talking about that it was very similar to Night Drive, which is a short film they did in the beginning of 2020. And it's a great little short film. If people haven't seen it, I'll link it down below. They're great. I love those guys, Jeff, Josh, and Brian. But it does have some similar beats to it. But yeah, the film was fun. Like I said, if you like movies, like I mentioned, like Breakdown, Joyride, Jeepers Creepers, Duel, movies where you're in the elements. And one thing I did hear people say that were reviewing the film, they complimented the fact that it made the outside seem scary. And I've always been scared about the outside. A lot of people said, it's kind of like the outside is the haunted house instead of you're going into a haunted house. I thought the way that the woods were shot was great. Andre Overdahl has a great eye, and I would love to see him you know, do some other films. I mean, I would love to see him do more film work. He's one of my favorite newer horror directors working right now. So yeah, I had a blast with Passenger. I don't think it beats Hokum. Hokum's still my favorite horror film I've seen this year. I don't know why that movie got me. Again, you know, usually I can tell on repeat viewings if it'll stay in that spot. For right now, Hokum's there. But I would put Passenger pretty close to it. I also really love Scream 7, so I don't care. You know, again, everything, like comedy, horror is subjective. We all like what we like. You know, some things speak to us more than others. There's some horror films that, you know, I just don't care for that others love, and vice versa, and that's just the way it goes. But yeah, I really enjoyed Passenger. I'm glad I got to see it. I don't know how much longer it's going to be in theaters. I think people should give it a chance. Go see it at a matinee like I did. But yeah, that's going to be about it. So I hope everyone enjoyed this. A very different spooky screenings for the Horror Zone channel. If you have seen Passenger, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about it. Let me know if you haven't seen it, if you're planning to go see it. Again, I don't know how much longer it's going to be in theaters. It seems like it's going to have a short run, which is unfortunate. There's also a horror film coming out this week called Pitfall, and I'm really thinking about checking that one out too. That sounds kind of fun, and it's got like it's got some great people in it. Like Alex Esso is in it. Randy Couture is in it. It looks like a lot of fun, so I am planning to check that one out for my Horror Zone channel as well. So I made it home safe and sound. No entity followed me from the theater, but I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch this video, my spooky screenings on Passenger, Andre Overdahl's new film. Again, I really enjoyed it. It's my kind of horror film. There's people that really love certain types of films within the horror genre, you know, be it found footage, slasher, ghost stories, road trip nightmares, which is pretty much what this one, it falls into that category. And like I said, you know, I love films like Breakdown and Joyride and Jeepers Creepers and Duel. Those are movies that I love. They're comfort movies, and this just falls perfectly into that category for me. It still doesn't beat The Autopsy of Jane Doe in terms of my favorite Andre Overdahl film, but I really liked it more than Last Voyage of the Demeter. Even though I liked that film, I felt like there was some editing that could have been done on that film. I felt like it was a little too long, but I still enjoyed it, still own it, and still enjoyed seeing it, and I really enjoyed seeing this one. So that's going to be it for now. Thanks so much for all the support, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always.